All right. Hello, Tracy. Thanks so much for doing this. I'm just going to ask a few questions about your career and your choices to start your career in alternative dispute resolution or mediation. And I was wondering if you could just share with folks sort of what your current position is and what you do.
Sure. Thanks so much for asking me to do this, Allison. I'm Tracey Frisch, and my current position, I am Senior Counsel at the American Arbitration Association, and in that capacity, I handle a variety of legal matters for the association and advise the business divisions of the association. And I'm also an adjunct professor at Benjamin N. Cardozo School of Law, and in the fall semester, I mentor students who mediate in small claims court in Manhattan.
That's very exciting. So when did you first find out about ADR or mediation, or how did you first get involved with the field?
Yeah. I first got involved as a peer mediator in high school and just caught the bug. After that, when I went to college, I saw a sign for creating logos for the school's mediation team, and I called the number and said, I'm not an artist, but I am a mediator. And they allowed me to join the team as the first student member, which I think was a good decision because they were mediating student disputes at the time. And one of the trainers for that program took me under her wing and opened my eyes to the areas of school mediation and conflict resolution in the courts as well. And so when I moved to New York after graduation, I started taking some graduate classes in mediation and conflict resolution and got a position in a non-for-profit youth empowerment organization teaching conflict resolution in schools, and really enjoyed that work, and that opened me my eyes up to training opportunities and getting involved on a national level in ADR organizations, and meeting many more people in the field who are doing very exciting things that I could see myself doing in the future. And I saw that they all had law degrees, so I thought that would be a good idea for me as well. So I went to Cardozo Law School and did everything I could with Professor Leela Love, which was amazing. The mediation clinic, competitions, traveling to national meetings for ADR organizations. And then upon graduation, I practiced law as a litigation associate at a New York law firm, but really always wanted to get back into ADR. So I went on informational interviews, and one of which was with Eric Tuchman, the general counsel at the American Arbitration Association. And at that time, there was a position available in the legal department at the AAA, and I was able to get that position. And since then, it's just been a great experience for me, being able to marry my interest in being a practicing attorney with my passion for ADR.
So as you were making those decisions in your career and going to law school and being involved with all the mediation courses and competitions with Leela Love, and then making that transition after starting as an associate, what type of advice did you get about starting a career in ADR?
Well, you want the good advice or the bad advice?
Both. Both.
Some advice I got along the way was don't bother. It's too hard of a field to break into. You need to practice law and retire from that before you can ease your way into the ADR field. And I would say the good advice I got, and the advice I chose to take, was to follow your passion, create opportunities for yourself, stick with it, talk to people who are doing things that interest you, and find out from them how did they get there, what next steps do they recommend for you. And so those were the things I think that helped lead me along my path.
When you were deciding whether to follow the bad advice or the good advice, what motivated you to say, you know what, I want to do this, and even though people are telling me it's going to be too hard, I am going to do this, I am going to follow that dream?
Right. I think part of it was looking at ADR in the broader sense. It wasn't just to pigeonhole myself that I want to be a mediator, I want to be an arbitrator, I want to be a neutral, but I saw people doing things in the field that I thought were interesting. Like ADR in the courts, I thought was an interesting field. Creating legislation surrounding ADR, teaching, training. When I discovered organizations like the AAA administering ADR, the processes, I just saw a wider array of options out there to be in the ADR field, and tried to pursue avenues that way, as opposed to really just closing myself off to one idea of what it means to be in the field of ADR.
So seeing those choices as broader than just practicing as a mediator in the private market.
Right, absolutely. I mean, the ADR field is much more than that, and it takes many more roles in order to make this field evolve and move forward.
Well, so if you had to do it all over again, would you have followed different advice, or would you have done it the same?
I absolutely would do it the same. I think just sticking with it and, like I said, bringing me to where I am today, I think has been a great match. And, finding things that you're interested within the field, which ways do you want to be involved? How do you want to be involved? And again, reaching out to people who are doing things that you find exciting and interesting and are doing things that you could see yourself doing, I think was a big part of moving my path along.
That sounds like some good advice for folks who might be graduating now or recent graduates as they look at starting a career in ADR. Any other advice you would want to give folks?
Yeah, I think a key to really, getting into any career, but particularly a career in ADR, is finding mentors. And I think it's either formally or informally, you're talking to people who are doing things that you want to do. And I think a great way to start a mentorship relationship is really for the mentee to ask the mentor, what can I do for you? Can I help you with research? Can I help you with writing? Is there something your organization's doing that you need help with? Getting involved in bar organizations or other local or national or international ADR organizations, and really being a help to them and the people who are running those organizations, I think is a great way to start off and get yourself known in a very positive way.
That seems like great advice. Connections, mentoring, supporting, these are all things I think we all benefited from ourselves, and to inspire others to do the same.
Yeah. Yes. And I encourage folks out there who are interested in this field not to give up and to stick with it and to reach out to people who are doing things in the field that they're interested in and finding out from them what next steps they might be able to take, what local opportunities exist for them, and staying involved and driven.
That is fantastic. That's the message of this blog, the message I'm hoping folks get. And so thank you so much, Tracey, for sharing your story and hopefully inspiring others that, in fact, you can have ADR as a first career. Thanks so much, Tracey.
Absolutely, and thanks, Allison, for doing this.
Thank you.